Hello and welcome to Prospect Global. Securing a U.S. visa typically involves several steps, and one of the most common is an in-person interview. This meeting is a standard part of the application process for many visa types. During this interview, you'll meet with a consular officer. They'll carefully review your background, assess the purpose of your visit, and evaluate your overall plans for staying in the United States. But imagine a scenario where you could potentially bypass this step altogether. That possibility exists through what's known as the visa interview waiver. When a waiver is granted, consular officers are empowered to approve certain applications based solely on the submitted documents and information. This means that a face-to-face meeting becomes unnecessary, streamlining the process. This saves valuable time and reduces stress, particularly for applicants deemed to be at low risk. Historically, these waivers were not commonly issued. They were primarily reserved for individuals seeking renewals of the same visa type, and usually within a specific time frame from the previous visa's expiration. The underlying rationale was straightforward. If an applicant had already undergone thorough vetting and consistently adhered to visa regulations in the past, conducting another interview might be considered redundant. Typically, first-time applicants were still required to attend an interview. Granting a waiver was more of an exception than the rule. However, the landscape shifted dramatically with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. This unprecedented global event compelled embassies and consulates worldwide to reevaluate and adapt their operational procedures. As a result, the use of interview waivers experienced a significant surge. This fundamentally reshaped the visa application process for countless individuals. The interview waiver quickly evolved into a critical instrument. It played a vital role in sustaining international travel and mobility amidst widespread global disruptions. The onset of the pandemic brought global travel to a near standstill. Borders slammed shut, and the skies emptied as international flights were grounded. This sudden disruption created a massive visa backlog, as consular operations worldwide faced unprecedented challenges. Embassies and consulates were forced to reduce their services significantly, grappling with health concerns and staffing shortages. Consequently, wait times for visa interviews stretched for months, sometimes even longer, leaving countless applicants in a state of uncertainty. This situation wasn't merely an inconvenience. It posed a significant threat to U.S. universities, which rely heavily on international students. It also negatively impacted businesses across various sectors, including tourism, hospitality, and many others that depend on international exchange. In an effort to clear the mounting backlog and mitigate the economic fallout, the U.S. government strategically leaned into interview waivers, particularly for applicants deemed low risk, as a means to expedite the visa process. These waivers allowed consular officers to process a greater number of cases more efficiently, freeing up valuable resources and reserving in-person interviews for more complex cases or for individuals applying for a visa for the very first time. The State Department characterized this initiative as a temporary but necessary fix to address an unprecedented global crisis. Throughout 2021 and 2022, the use of interview waivers was expanded to encompass a wider range of non-immigrant visa categories, marking a significant shift where, for the first time, even some first-time applicants found themselves eligible to bypass the traditional interview process. The primary goal was clear: to reduce the extensive wait times and ensure that the U.S. remained accessible to international students, skilled workers, and tourists eager to experience all that the country has to offer. Of course, efficiency and national security had to be carefully balanced, ensuring that the integrity of the visa system was maintained. Despite the challenges, the interview waiver program proved to be an essential tool in navigating the complexities of the pandemic era. The expanded waiver policy targeted key non-immigrant visas, students, FMJ visas, and temporary workers, HLOPQ visas, were major beneficiaries. Renewals within 48 months of expiration also qualified, including for business and tourist visas. This helped repeat travelers and workers avoid long waits, freeing up slots for first-timers. Eligibility wasn't automatic. Consular officers had final say and could require interviews if needed. The policy aimed to ease pressure across the system while maintaining security. Flexibility was crucial. Waivers were granted only if applicants met strict criteria. The result was faster processing for many, but not a guarantee for all. As of August 2025, the landscape of U.S. visa applications continues to evolve. One aspect that many applicants are keen to understand is the possibility of skipping the in-person interview. Fortunately, the U.S. still provides some flexibility and empowers consular officers to exercise their discretion and waive interviews for certain non-immigrant visa applicants, streamlining the process in specific cases. This can save applicants valuable time and resources. The main groups that might be eligible primarily include first-time applicants for student and worker visas. These categories often have a high volume of applications, and waivers help manage the workload. F, M, J, H, L, O, P, Q. These are the specific visa types that often fall under this provision. Another group includes anyone renewing a visa in the same category. This is often seen as a lower-risk scenario, making a waiver more likely. The key rule to remember is that if your previous visa expired less than 48 months ago from the date of your new application, you may very well qualify for a waiver of the interview requirement. However, you must apply from your country of residence, ensuring you have ties there. Additionally, you must have no unresolved prior refusals and absolutely no security concerns that might raise red flags. Consular officers will meticulously review your application and all submitted documents. They are looking for consistency and accuracy. If all looks satisfactory and aligns with established criteria, you might just skip the interview altogether. Any red flags that emerge, like incomplete information provided on your application or a past history of overstaying a previous visa, will likely mean you'll be called in for a mandatory interview. Remember, waivers are granted as a privilege and not an automatic right. Therefore, it's crucial to always check your local U.S. Embassy's website. This will provide you with the latest and most accurate eligibility details specific to your location. The online application system will intelligently guide you through the entire process and clearly let you know if you meet the criteria to qualify for an interview waiver. Will the waiver policy last? For now, it's indefinite but not permanent. As backlogs shrink and operations normalize, the government may tighten waiver rules. First-time student visa applicants could again face mandatory interviews. The 48-month renewal window might be shortened. A hybrid model could emerge, keeping waivers for low-risk groups and using tech to screen applicants. Remote interviews are being discussed, but security challenges remain. The future depends on workload, security, and policy shifts. For now, waivers are a key tool, but don't count on them forever. Always prepare for an interview just in case. The best strategy? Prepare as if you'll need an interview. Fill out your DS-160 form carefully. Mistakes can trigger an interview or denial. Gather all required documents: I-20 and CVIS fee for students, itinerary and proof of ties for tourists, I-797 for workers. Organize your paperwork to show you're a serious applicant. If you're called for an interview, practice clear, honest answers about your plans and ties to your home country. Consistency with your application is key. Check your embassy's website for up-to-date rules and wait times. Don't trust rumors or unofficial sources. Rules change often, so stay informed. By preparing thoroughly, you'll be ready, whether you get a waiver or face an interview. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Prospect Global for more updates.